Last night, the Padres' hottest hitter, Will Venable, connected with a glove on two outstanding catches to help shut out Chicago. Veteran John Garland calls upon his big game experience today, seeking his 15th win of the season. Four games left. Follow the chicken. San Diego can still roost in first. Petco Park, San Diego, California. Heavy skies and rain on this last day of September. Oh my, as the Cubs and the Padres conclude this four-game series, and San Diego says goodbye to their home season here in 2010. And good afternoon, everyone. Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. We haven't had rain since opening day. It rained, and now on the final day of the regular season, more rain, and the word is that at 3:50, the game will be able to go underway. They've checked the radar, and this is just a shower that is moving through.
How about bookends? Rain opening day, as you mentioned, rain today, and I'll tell you what, Luke Yoder, probably one of the best guys in the business as far as grounds crews are concerned. He's earning his money today. They put that tarp on the field. They did a nice job. Haven't skipped a beat all year long. They do a great job, so we're going to get underway at 3:50.
Well, he said on opening day that God was crying because he didn't like the way the Padres were treated throughout spring training and everyone picking them in last place. And now maybe he's saying, hey, you still got a chance here. Don't lose hope. And as we go to the standings here, this is the situation. The Giants have already won 4-1 against Arizona, so they swept that series. And the Padres now 2.5 back. Obvious scenario there. They lose today, then they'll be 3 back, would have to win all 3 in San Francisco to force a playoff. If they win today, then they could take 2 out of 3 to tie, and 3 would conclude the season as the champions of the National League West.
And when you look at the wild card race, first of all, up top, the Arizona Diamondbacks weren't doing anybody favors playing those Giants with those games up there. But then when you look at the Padres and the Braves in the wild card, the Phillies and the Braves, how about the Phillies clinching already? So they're going to rest their regulars, and they're saving guys like Halladay, Oswalt, and Hamels. Those guys are shut down for the year. I heard that today coming into the ballpark. So I'm not going to say that the Phillies are going to lay an egg, but they're getting their ducks in order, no pun intended, for the playoffs, which start next week. So I don't think the Phillies are going to really do any favors against the Atlanta Braves because they're in a race as well.
Well, actually, the Padres are only a game and a half behind Atlanta, and this is a makeup game. The Braves do not have one scheduled, so if the Padres win, there'll only be 1 back with 3 to play in the wild card. You hear the reaction in the crowd in the background. Apparently, the grounds crew back out. The rain has concluded. What we're going to do now is look at our starting pitching matchup for this final game of the home season. Tom Gorzalani, the left-hander for the Chicago Cubs, 7 wins and 9 losses on the year, and John Garland seeks number 15 for the San Diego Padres. And our pitching matchup is brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. So in about 20 minutes, we will return to San Diego. The estimated time of the first pitch, 10 minutes before the hour. Right now, we invite you to stay with us as we join ESPN News. Termite Steel home, especially your home. Call Corky's at 1-800-901-1102. Corky's. And a surprise shower here in San Diego. Precipitation, it started around midday today, and throughout this part of Southern California, thunder showers and at times heavy rain showers, 10-15 minutes, freshened the air. Looks as if we won't have any interruptions the rest of the way.
It's good for the earth and hopefully good for these Padres and for John Garland, the sinker baller. The thick air, you can feel the moisture, and that should help a guy like John Garland. And the race is on. David Eckstein leads it out of the pack.
1984 throwback jerseys worn by the Padres, and each player, manager, and coaches will then have that jersey given to one of the fans who bought tickets at $1 a piece. And they'll have a drawing after the game, and a lucky 45 or so will be able to take home a unique uniform. Our starting pitcher profile, the 30-year-old veteran John Garland, brought to you by the Mark Condos, the luxurious downtown San Diego condos from the 300s. Go to themarksandiego.com.
Well, if John Garland ever needed a great outing, last one, best one, right here at home, it's got to be win day for the San Diego Padres. John's put together a nice season. Once again, double digits in victories with 14. It would be nice to go, hopefully, into the playoffs with 15.
It's his 33rd start of the season. That equals Garland's career high. He's looking for his 130th lifetime win. Last 5 starts, however, for Buddy Black, Garland has gone 1-4, no hitting support at all. He has recorded 128 strikeouts. That's the most in his career, but he also has walked more than he ever has. 86 this year. That's number 3 in the National League.
Yeah, we know that John Garland can get up there in the pitch count as well. 3rd or 4th inning, up around 50 pitches. If he can have some quick innings early on, give the Padres a chance. And somebody's got to wake up those bats for the Padres as well. Hopefully make it 2 in a row against these Chicago Cubs.
Well, Garland appears to be the right man at the right time. He's a big game pitcher. He's worked in the playoff picture, and not only in the National League Series, but the World Series. That was with the White Sox back in 2005. He won a game against Houston, a complete game, and was leading 5-4 in the World Series game. Actually beat the Angels and was leading Houston in the World Series when he was taken out, leading 5-4 after 7 innings. So big game pressure. He has had a taste of that, and in many ways this is one of those big games for the Padres, and we're underway. First pitch to Blake DeWitt, the left-handed hitting second baseman, in for a strike at 91. DeWitt, Castro, and Bird in the first inning for Chicago. Ex-Dodger hitting .261, and he lines a single to left field. And see how that ball skidded through the wet grass out to left fielder Cunningham. Let's look at the Chicago starting lineup. It's brought to you by Floor Trader. Pay way less for your flooring and take it home today. Now open in Lemon Grove. DeWitt aboard with a single. Then the young 20-year-old shortstop Castro. Bird has their top numbers. Ramirez hits cleanup, Nady fifth. Brad Snyder in right field gets his first start of the series. Soriano, a couple of home runs 2 nights ago to lead the Cubs to victory. Coy Hill behind the plate, and Tom Gorzolani on the mound. Castro, 300 at age 20. A rare find to get a shortstop this young to hit so well as a major league rookie at shortstop.
Yeah, every part of his game is huge for that youngster. And that's something you really don't find a lot of. You know, usually the guy will have a great glove and he'll hit like his 250 or 260. Not this kid.
You can see a babyface Castro. He's going to grow into that uniform. He'll get bigger and stronger. He is going to be the darling of the North Side for a long time. In fact, that 300 batting average, it's been a tough year for hitters. That's 9th best in the National League coming in to this final handful of games.
It has been the year of the pitcher, has it not?
It surely has, and certainly for the Padres that's the case.
Oh, I wonder why that is.
I still think they should raise that mound about 12 more inches. Really get those pitchers working downhill.
Good old days, huh?
Yep.
1-1. Garland looking for a ground ball that Castro could hit one of his infielders and pick up a double play. 1-2 the count. The leading hitter and apparently the batting champion for 2010 in the National League, to Carlos Gonzalez, the talented left-handed hitting outfielder of the Colorado Rockies. Castro hitting 300, Gonzalez 338. He's got a sizable lead over the rest of the pack. Back to the mound. Garland goes to Tejada for one. Back to first. Not in time. The juggle by Garland trying to get the ball out of his glove cost him the double play. Just a little hesitation there before he could get his throw to Tejada. And that gave Castro the step he needed to beat the relay.
John tried to position himself. It was the high chopper. And that little glitch, as you mentioned, Dick, is the difference because Castro just beats it out. That's also tough. Talking about a pitcher usually throwing downhill to the plate. It almost looked like John Garland was throwing uphill to second base on that mound. Boy, what a great turn by Tejada as well, even though he was safe at first.
And a reminder again, with the rain preceding the game and delaying the start some 25 minutes, that grass is still wet and the ball will take a little different action. As we saw in the single by DeWitt, it skidded out there to Cunningham and left, and the ball coming back to Garland, it was wet, and that may have forced him to regrip it. Marlon Byrd, a solid season for the Cubs, 296, leads in hits, runs, doubles, hit by pitch. That's when he just soon not have the top spot. He's been hit 17 times. The honor for the man being plucked the most is Ricky Weeks, the Milwaukee Brewers infielder, 23 times. One and one to Bird. Just to set the stakes here, which are so high for the Padres, a team that led the National League West 148 games this year. Bit of a September swoon, and the Giants have passed them, and the Giants have won today 4-1 the final up north against Arizona. So Black's Padres are 2.5 back with a 3-game series starting tomorrow night between the two teams. The wild card, Atlanta idle today. Padres start 1.5 behind the Braves for that precious wild card spot.
Yeah, Kane, Zito, Sanchez. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Stay tuned. Hey, the good thing for the Padres, 5-1 this year up at Alphabet Park.
10-5 overall against the Giants. They played them well, and San Diego also, along with Philadelphia, the best road record in the National League. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Business here this afternoon against Mike Quaddy's Cubs, who put a couple of defeats on the Padres the first 2 games of this 4-game series. Laid that fastball in there, and Bird takes the walk back to the dugout. First strikeout for Garland.
Marlon Byrd must have been guessing something off speed like the slider, because John Garland right on the outside corner. Let's check out the grip. Staying on top of that baseball. 4-seam fastball. Thank you very much. Great pitch by Garland.
Aramis Ramirez, the cleanup hitter, third baseman, tied for the club lead home runs with Soriano with 24. Gets that one high in the air. Center fielder Venable won't have to be spectacular on that catch. He certainly was last night. And that's it for the Cubs in the first. A single by DeWitt. He's left at first. Up come the Padres. Picturesque Point Loma off in the distance as we welcome you back to downtown San Diego. And our SAP telecast is brought to you by the Philly Cheesesteak Burger at Carl's Jr. It's a Philly cheesesteak on a burger. Big ship moving in to the harbor.
I think that's Jane's yacht.
Jane Mitchell's
Jane
yacht.
Mitchell, yeah. Miss Coronado.
Tom Gorzolani goes to work. The left-hander toiled for the Jayhawks of the University of Kansas in his collegiate years. And his starting pitcher profile brought to you by the all-new Cadillac SRX, the Cadillac of crossovers. Venable, a 10-game hitting streak. And in the last 17, batting .446. Smothers that one toward first, and it's foul. You know, Venable, a late start as a baseball player. He was a basketball star in high school and at Princeton, and didn't take, even though his father, Max, was a major league ball player, take baseball as his #1 sport until the middle of his collegiate career. So in terms of his gradation and maturing as a player, he's just getting to maybe where a 23 or 24-year-old might be. He goes down swinging against the lefty Gorzolani. Let's look at the San Diego lineup of Buddy Black. It's brought to you by Alpine Rock and Block. Start your next backyard project with Alpine Rock and Block. Venable, Eckstein, Tejada. Gonzalez needs 2 RBIs to reach 100. Ludwig hits 5th, then Torrealba. Aaron Cunningham in left bats 7th. Headley, the third baseman, 8th, and Garland, the pitcher, bats 9th. Eckstein an RBI double last night in the 3-0 San Diego win, their 20th team shutout, matching their club record. Strike barked out by Sam Holbrook. Rest of the crew, Gibson at first, Davis at second, and Marquez at third. Umbrella still in evidence, and there's a little looper into right field. There's a raindrop base hit by David Eckstein.
And hopefully those raindrops keep falling on our heads, Mr. Enberg.
Keep falling.
Well, Gorzolani does not throw hard, and David Eckstein is one of the best at hitting the ball where it is pitched. You see that one down and away. Nice little tennis lob to right center field. Fastball, changeup, slider, and a curve from Gorzolani. He's really struggled his last 3 starts, an ERA of 10.6 and a record of 0-2. So the Padres can get to this guy.
His record against San Diego has not been good. Tejada takes ball 1. He's 1-3 with a 5.01 ERA against San Diego. And here at Petco, he's 0-2. Earned run average 6.30. Look at Tejada's numbers. He's been solid. Had his 11-game hitting streak snapped last night. Eckstein goes, and he's got it easily. He stole that off Gorzolani. He was 15 feet on his way to second base, and Gorzolani hadn't made his move to the plate yet. He had made up his mind he was coming home, and Eckstein catches him. Look at how quickly he took off.
Yeah, he went on first movement, and Gorzolani really doesn't have one of the better moves. And for David Eckstein, that's another King Stolman base into scoring position early on for the Padres.
His 8th steal of the year. The Padres second to the Mets overall on the season. 124 stolen bases. And when they steal a base, they're 55-14. That's a good early sign. 2-1 to Tejada. So Tejada and Gonzalez with a chance to give the team of Buddy Black an early lead.
Let's see if Miguel Tejada takes the same approach as Eckstein at taking Gorzolani the other way.
Changeup floating away from the swing of Tejada. Left-hander is 6'2", 205 pounds, 28 years of age. Originally drafted by the Pirates 7 years ago, a second-round pick out of Kansas. That one fisted foul. Got in on him. Nice catch made by a fan. Dampened conditions or not.
He's got the right kind of haircut, too.
Good to have your relatives with us.
Yeah, they got in, I see. They let him in.
Clean catch. 2-2. Eckstein at second. Rolled to third. Eckstein has to hold as the throw made by Ramirez across for the out. Tejada not happy with that swing. He was fooled on the pitch.
Exactly. Couldn't stay back. Tough to stay back on that off-speed pitch. And that's exactly what Borzolani wanted him to do. It's an off-speed pitch. And by the location of the pitch, it would have been nice for him to just poke it the other way, but tries to hook that ball to the left side, and Eckstein stays at second.
We'll see whether or not lefty against lefty they'll pitch to Gonzalez. They know the scouting reports that Gonzalez is the best left-handed hitter against left-handed pitching in the National League. In fact, of the top 8 against lefties, he's the only left-handed batter. .339 on the season for Gonzalez. You saw a season average .298, but he's hit much more effectively against southpaw pitching.
Whoa.
The newly shaven Gonzalez trying to snap out of a modest hitting slump. Decided to depart with the facial hair a couple of nights ago. 30 home runs. A couple of RBIs away. There's the look that we became accustomed to over the last several years.
Nice to see Adrian lay off that high fastball. A lot of times he will offer at that pitch.
No strikes yet for Gonzalez, and now they're going to intentionally walk him. Tried to pitch around, get him to chase a bad ball. And so Gonzalez, for the 33rd time this year, intentionally walked. '90th walk overall, Gonzalez. So they just take the bat out of the hands of the best hitter for the Padres, and that's why Ryan Ludwig was acquired by trade just before the deadline to try to support Gonzalez, give him better pitches, but they still don't offer Adrian much. Ludwig with a chance to punish them for the walk.
First pitch changeup from Borzolani with the runner in scoring position.
Ludwig a double and scored one of the 3 runs last night. Hit the ball hard. He had a couple of line drive outs, one to left, one to third base. 2-0.
Well, you get that ball up into the air today at Petco Park. We've got some storms come through here. Looks like it's going from right field over towards left field. You got to get it up in the air, though. You hit those line drives. You know, and you made a good point earlier, Dick, that ball that nearly scooted by Cunningham in left field. If you can get the ball to one of the gaps, it's going to roll. It's going to get to the wall quickly.
(2-0) the count. 2 on, 2 out. And a ground ball to short. Young Castro will go the short way for the force. And the inning is over. No runs, a hit, a couple of left for the Padres. After 1, no score. We're in for 2011. Season tickets on sale now. Season tickets, the best way to guarantee 2010 Padres postseason tickets. So they'll be available. Make sure you have the best seats for all the big games. Don't wait. Call 619-795-5555. Let the Padres know you're in. Representatives are standing by. First pitch to Xavier Nady. In for a strike. Nady at 250. Former Padre out of Cal Berkeley. Brad Snyder and Alfonso Soriano to follow.
When you look at pitch counts and John Garland, what we've seen over this year is he'll accumulate a lot of pitches early. He had a great first inning, only 11 tosses in that first frame.
Foul back, 2-2. Sinker ball pitcher John Garland. Strike three. That's his second. Got him with a fastball. Let's look at the Padres defense. It's brought to you by Easy Turf. Synthetic lawns and putting greens. The best looking synthetic grass is now more affordable. Call 866-EASY Turf. Headley, Tejada, Eckstein, Gonzalez, third around to first. Outfield, Cunningham in left, Venable in center, Ludwig in right, Torrealba behind the plate, and Garland on the hill. Brad Snyder, the batter, former Ball State star and a #1 draft pick of the Cleveland Indians 7 years ago.
Ball State's Cardinals, right?
That's exactly right.
Yes.
You know your birds. One of those called up from Iowa, the top farm club of the Cubs. One and two as Garland jumps in front.
Have you ever been to Muncie, Indiana, Dick?
Oh,
any basketball there?
Oh, sure.
The Heartland.
Remember, I spent 4 years in Bloomington.
That's right.
Out of play.
Good pitch. Tying up Snyder. We know that John likes to throw the two-seamer away. How about the two-seamer in? That's a good sign. He's got that release point down.
Got him. 93. And a little sink on it as well.
Nice little running fastball down and away. And great location. Sure, Darren Balsley is smiling ear to ear. Let's check it out. What does Trax think? Oh, you betcha. Right on the corner.
Garland adding to his career high strikeout total. That's his 131st. Soriano, we all know, has incredible power, bat speed. 24 home runs again this year. A couple in this series. And robbed of another last night by Venable. Again, Mark Grant, you're on the mound. You see Soriano, that style of hitting with your chin right over the inside corner. What's that tell you?
He likes to dive, and that's what you do. You bust him inside with a good four-seamer or a two-seamer like that, and chances are B heads up Chase Headley at third base, because look at this. If he even makes contact with that, he's going to foul it off his shin. It's going to go into the dugout of the Cubs, or it's going to be a two-hopper to Chase Headley. And then he'll chase breaking stuff down and away like that. You don't have to throw this guy a strike. And if you throw him a breaking ball, please don't throw it for a strike, because it'll speed up his bat and he can hurt you out of the yard. But remember the other night he took that low fastball down and in.
Might as well have put it on a tee the way he golfed it out of here.
Yep. See, that was a fastball. The bat head was going towards the outside part of the plate, but it looked like his body was going away. Watch the top half of his body. See how he's opening up? And his bat was out on the outside half? No power. He was maybe guessing in on that last pitch. Breaking ball. Time.
Torrealba says, I'll go through it again.
Shook off curveball. He shook off fastball away. Slider away. Slider in. Oh, the front door slider.
High fly ball. Ludwig. Right fielder has it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for John Garland. Bottom of the second, Torrealba, Cunningham, and Headley coming up. Welcome back to San Diego, and a reminder to catch all the action of the 2010 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The playoff excitement begins next Wednesday, October 6th, with the Division Series on TBS. A damp afternoon on this Thursday in San Diego. Still some heavy clouds about. As we go to the last of the second, no score, and Torrealba leads it off for San Diego. Sharp ground ball into right field for a base hit. Did you see how that scooted?
Yeah.
It hit the infield grass, and the next bounce had more speed on it, and it skidded right by DeWitt for a base hit.
That ball got through so quickly. DeWitt, I thought he had a chance to maybe dive for this baseball, but maybe he was turning his wheels on that infield that has a lot of that diamond dry to try to dry out the surface. Good swing, taking Gorslani the other way. Nicely done.
Like skipping a rock off the lake. Aaron Cunningham, 289 his hitter. Caught the outside corner. Well, as you have well noted, throwback Thursday, the 1984 uniforms, the Ray Kroc RAK on the sleeve, the owner of the Padres at the time, as they beat the Cubs in the 5-game series. Steve Garvey hitting a home run to advance in the playoffs. Popped up. DeWitt at second. And speaking of 84, the shortstop on that team, Gary Templeton, he threw out the first pitch. Good to see Gary looking good.
Oh, he's looking great. Tempy was a great shortstop, great teammate. That guy had a gun on it. He was one of those shortstops to where and here he is throwing out the first pitch, but he would utilize his arm when needed. Okay, if it was a hot smash right at him, he'd just flip it over to first, that little rainbow, but if he had to get a little something extra on it, he had a cannon.
Gary and his family observing his action, throwing out the first pitch. Here's Chase Headley .261 his average. A natural right-handed hitter, but he's had better success left-handed. Doesn't get many chances to hit right-handed. Has more power from that side. Batting just .211 right-handed, .284 left-handed. But the last 3 weeks or so, he has looked much sharper right-handed than left-handed. Oh, they picked him off. Torrealba, an easy out as they nailed him at second base. DeWitt makes the tag. For a catcher, Torrealba loves to run. He got caught. First move.
Yeah, and you know, remember Eckstein when he stole the base, he was on the first move as well. So that might be part of the game plan against Gorzelani. So the Padre catcher is erased.
Two outs, and now Headley, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, the third baseman wearing those colors back in '84 for the Padres, Greg Nettles.
There's a line drive to right field, and now the pickoff of Torrealba becomes more important. It would be first and third. Headley goes the other way. Brings up pitcher John Garland. Garland has had a dozen hits this year. Batting .218. That would top the pitching core with the bats for San Diego. Well, in that '84 season, no surprise there. Tony Gwynn had the leading batting average, .351. Steve Garvey led in RBIs with 86. Foul back. Eric Schau winning as pitcher for the Padres. 15 wins for the late right-hander.
Great lineup that year. Wiggins, Gwynn, Nettles, Garvey, Kennedy, Martinez, McReynolds, Templeton.
Headley at first, 2 outs. No score. Padres know the Giants have won again.
Well, some Padre fans might not know, but John Garland was once Chicago Cub property. He was originally drafted by the Cubs and then traded to the White Sox to the South Side his second year rather of pro ball while he was a minor leaguer.
At his best year in the big leagues with Chicago in that 2005 World Series season when he went 18-10. All-Star. Gives you a lot of innings throughout his career. He gets the ball every turn. Line drive right field, but it's at Brad Snyder. Well, the Padres get a couple of hits. Pickoff is big in that inning. No score, moving on to the third. Not accustomed to so much gray here in San Diego. Usually the bright blues of the ocean and the sky. Padres baseball brought to you by the all-new Cadillac CTS Coupe with dramatic styling, intuitive technology, and spirited performance. It represents the best of Cadillac. Test drive one today.
You know why I like this type of weather this type of year? Cuts down on the fire season. That's something that we really need. We need the moisture in the air. It's good for the earth.
Yeah, people that don't live in the West are often surprised that the fire season is not in the middle of summer. It's in the fall, September and October, when we get those Santa Ana winds. And you live out in that area. You've had to evacuate. You know well.
Hey, look at that, Dick. They stuck them away in mothballs and broke them out. The 84 towels. It's amazing they're still intact.
Very nice. All right, everyone in spirit. Coy Hill, Gorzolani, and DeWitt to bat. Switch hitting catcher. You heard plate umpire Holbrook announce that one was outside.
You know, Dick, I was looking over the 1984 starting lineup for the Cubs. Oh, some great names. Larry Boa started at short. Now third base coach for the Dodgers. Leon Durham was at first base. Jody Davis behind the plate. Keith Moreland. Oh, he could drop a routine fly ball with the best of them. Ron Say, the Penguin, was at third. Rhino at second. And Bobby Dernier, who is now the first base coach for the Cubs, he played center field.
That's in there. Another called strike three. 3 of the 4 strikeouts logged by Garland taken by the Cubs.
There's that two-seam fastball on the inside part of the plate. It straightens him up and right on the inside corner. Tell you what, John Garland has got that release point down nicely early on today.
Gorzolani, the pitcher, 5 for 38 hits as he throws from the left side. Garland trying to break what has been a season-long bad habit for him, and that is struggle. A lot of pitches the first 3 innings. And then it's some magical thing happens top of the 4th, and he becomes a totally different pitcher. Well, this is the kind of work that Garland has been offering all season long after the 3rd inning. Tonight he's brought it in the first 3.
And you know what I'm wondering? It could be a number of things, but this heavy air, the humidity. I mean, as a pitcher, it doesn't take you long in this type of weather to get hot in that bullpen. Maybe it's the factor of getting loose easier earlier in the game.
Strike 3. Another Cub caught looking. 5 strikeouts, 4 called out on strikes. Gorzolani joins a lot of company as Garland goes through the batting order for the first time, striking out 5 of the 9 men he faces.
Boy, John Garland is doing more of a Judy Garland, clicking those heels together and saying there's no place like home. Are those ruby slippers he's wearing today?
Like DeWitt, he started the game with a line single to left field. Back to your point about Garland and being loose. You know, most of the time, pitchers here at Petco Park, night games, the air is cool, and it takes a little longer to loosen up.
Good point.
This is a perfect day. This is it's a Chicago midsummer type, warm, humid conditions. Perfect for a pitcher.
And great for a sinker baller. You get such a good feel for that baseball when it's humid.
Line drive, center field. Venable is there. Another 1-2-3 inning for John Garland. We go to the last of the 3rd. It'll be Garland starting it, and then the top of the Padre order. No score. Lisa's at the park, where you can enjoy a wonderful evening. Happy hour 7 days a week. By Irving Hughes, life is a lease. Negotiate well. And by Mass Mutual, a company owned by its policyholders. Well, we're back in the saddle again for the final time here at Petco Park in the regular season. Back in the saddle again, of course, the theme song of Gene Autry, and this would have been Gene's 103rd birthday. A cowboy. What a great friend he was to so many of us, and how he loved this game of baseball.
You know, a lot of people ask me when they go up to Anaheim, there's Autry at number 26 retired, right? Dick, you want to tell that story?
26th man.
Right.
And he certainly was all of that.
Oh, yeah.
There every day. He'd come down to the clubhouse every game. Will Venable, then David Eckstein and Miguel Tejada for the Padres, bottom of the third. Will struck out his first time. And a drag bunt, and a good one. DeWitt flips and makes the play. Nicely done by the second baseman. And handling a wet ball as well. Not a bad ploy by Venable. Hit it just a touch too hard.
It had to be perfect for DeWitt. The bare hand scoop. And look how close this is. And Will gives himself up. Ooh, choppy steps at first. But does Nady have control? That's the one thing that I was looking at this place. Does he have control? I don't know.
That was cradled.
Kind of juggling around a little bit, maybe, huh? Well, maybe he did. I don't know. Kind of pinned it up against his chest there, but I don't know. You got to have him in the glove, don't you, or your bare hand?
Here's another look. Bang, bang.
Yeah.
Eckstein pops this one into shallow right field, coming over as Snyder for the second out. One of the great stories about Autry, who is the only man to have 5 different stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. See, radio, television,
Acting,
movies,
right?
music. Anyway, that the most successful financial venture of a man who seemed to have the golden touch no matter what he did, it worked. Here's Tejada. Was something he didn't want to do. He had to be talked into. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and that brought in more money than anything that he ever did. Good old Rudolph. There's one scooted to the outfield. Castro showing his arm, and he gets Tejada. He's the complete package. Padres out 1-2-3 in the third. We go to the fourth. Still no score. Top of the fourth inning on a rainy Thursday afternoon in San Diego. Game delayed nearly a half an hour, but just light precipitation since that first pitch thrown by John Garland, who works into the fourth inning. He's allowed only one hit, a single by DeWitt, facing only 10 batters through 3 innings. 5 of them he has struck out, and it's Castro, Bird, and Ramirez for the Cubs in the fourth. No score.
Well, Dick, earlier you mentioned Castro hitting 300. Coming in today's game, hitting 300. It's been 36 years since a Cubs rookie hit 300 with at least 400 plate appearances. Mad Dog, Bill Madlock, back in 1974, ended up hitting 313. He was a pretty good third baseman, wasn't he?
He certainly was. Could swing the bat, too. That one chopped to Headley, gets it on the big hop, and throws him out. He couldn't wait for that one to bounce a second time. Castro's speed, he'd been on first base with a leg hit. One out to Marlon Byrd. He struck out his first time up. Well, there's a lot of speculation as to the managerial role of the Cubs for next year, with Lou Piniella retiring late in the season and his base coach taking over, Mike Quade. And Quade has done a terrific job. The Cubs had an 8-game road winning streak. He's done, let's see, last 18 games on the road, 14-4. And it'll be the only winning month for the Cubs all season long. They're 16-9 in September under his leadership. And in fact, this is incredible. 117 years of Cubs history until this year, there never had been a winning final month by a team that was under 500 all the other months of the year. So he's really turned this program around late. When a lot of players might be looking ahead to what are they going to do in the offseason, he's gotten the Cubs to really play well. Unfortunately for the Padres, as they took the first 2 games of the series. Did he go around? No. Padres were tied with the Giants at the start of the series, and those 2 Cubs wins knocked them 2 games off the pace of San Francisco. But Ryne Sandberg is in the organization, and of course a great hero of Cubs fans, and many feel that he'll get the nod, but Quade's strengthened his bid to stay on as the full-time manager.
Yeah, Jim Hendry, the general manager for the Cubs, is going to have some decisions to make along with the ownership there, the Ricketts family. Tom and his family at the helm now in Chicago as owners. Hey, you know what? Popularity, says Ryne Sandberg. I mean, my goodness, the guy's a Hall of Famer, but a lot goes into managing a ball club, not just being a one-time minor league manager.
Ground ball sharply, glove by Headley. Can he get him? Long throw, scooped out by Gonzalez. Great plays at both ends. Headley to Gonzalez. Oh my. That is taking away a base hit. Doing more on defense, brought to you by the Home Depot. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. You get vacuum cleaners there at Home Depot.
Unbelievable. And somewhere, number 9, 1984 third baseman Greg Nettles is smiling, because that was Greg Nettles like. Nice play, Chase Headley.
Nettles, a product of the Aztec program, San Diego State, where his teammate Tony Gwynn is now the head coach. Well, some superb defense played by the Padres all season long, complementing a great pitching staff, and that's kept them in first place for 148 games. Venable last night, 2 spectacular outfield catches that denied the Cubs 3 runs. Both appeared to have been home runs had he not been able to get a glove on it. And he's playing with a bad bat. Ramirez, fly ball to right. That's hit well. Ludwig retreating and makes the catch. You can see the footing is a little tricky out there. Another 1-2-3 inning for Garland. He's retired 11 in a row, and Headley helping him out. We invite you to visit the official online shop of the Padres at Padres.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Padres.com shop. Accept no substitutes. Well, a light rain falling now at Petco Park. You can see the dampening of the infield dirt. It didn't bother Chase Headley. That is as fine a play as a third baseman can make. Taking a double away from Marlon Byrd, with Gonzalez helping him out on the back end with the one-hop catch of the long throw. Adrian intentionally walked the first time up. Ludwig and then Torrealba to follow. Most of the teams this year have used a shift on Gonzalez, bringing the shortstop or the third baseman from the left side and planting him on the right side, moving the second baseman into shallow right. But as you can see, Mike Quade uses an orthodox alignment. 1-2. And one of the difficulties for Gonzalez all year, and he's battled a bad shoulder, is the fact that he gets so few good pitches to hit that he's tempted to go after balls that are out of the strike zone. Otherwise, he doesn't get any swings.
He might throw him a bad pitch here and make him fish for some up and out of the zone.
Ball that was inside, but he fouled it away. But his numbers are undeniable, and you can understand why they don't pitch to him with runners in scoring position. He is far and away the best batting average with runners in scoring position in the National League. Fouled out of play. .416 hitting with runners in scoring position. That's about 30 points ahead of the pack. He's number 5 also in day batting average. So he's enjoyed more when the lights are not on. But unfortunately on this day, because of the dark skies, it seems like an early night game. That ball hit well to center field. Bird going back, way back, and makes the catch. Well, that's twice in this series. He's flirted, but he's hit both deep shots to straightaway center field, the longest part of Petco Park.
Sounded good. What type of swing? It really wasn't his best swing either. Out in front just a little bit, and Bird right at the base of the wall.
Ryan Ludwig, after they walked Gonzalez in the first inning, Eckstein had singled and moved to second on a stolen base. Then they walked Gonzalez. Ludwig grounded out to short. They acquired him from St. Louis just for that purpose, to bat after Gonzalez, to hopefully punish teams that would put Gonzalez on an extra base runner. And Ludwig had come up and hit a 2 or 3 run home run. But he goes down swinging. And he hasn't quite produced as much as the Padres had hoped he would. His batting average is, as a Padre, starting today, was only .222. So Gorzolani moving along well. No runs allowed. Only 3 hits through 3 2/3 innings.
This guy's pitching like another left-hander with the number 32, Sandy Koufax.
Torrealba grounded a single sharply into right field and then was picked off in the second inning. And after he was picked off, Headley singled to right, but the Padres unable to come up with anything. Gorzolani, only his second start this entire month of September. 30 days of September, just 2 starts for this lefty. So he's well rested and obviously strong. There's a low line drive scooped out by Xavier Nady, and he takes the play himself at the bag. So another 1-2-3 inning for Gorzolani. He now has retired 7 in a row.
Big game recap, as always, brought to you by my friends at Murray Lamper Construction. The home remodeling to fit your needs and your budget with the Murray Lamper Construction Design Build Package. For more information, visit murraylampert.com. Dick?
Western Metal Supply Company down there in the left field corner that traces all the way back to the late 1800s. They were making supplies for the horse and carriage. First pitch by Garland. Nady sends it out to right fielder Ludwig. Boy, that was way up there. 13 in a row now, retired by Garland. Except Brad Snyder.
You mentioned the Western Metal Building. I did a little research when we first opened here at Petco Park, and you know what else was stored at the Western Metal Supply Company building back in the day?
Fungo bats.
Close. Wilson baseballs for the Pacific Coast League. They stored them in that building. Very good call, though.
Like
good guess.
I was trying to be silly. Are you kidding? Pacific Coast League Padres. There was a ceremony before the game today honoring a man very instrumental in baseball in this city, and we'll get to that. Snyder takes a strike. He struck out looking. First time up. So this heavy weather, rainy weather, has dampened the attacks of both teams thus far as Snyder curls that one foul down into the lower deck. Now, before the game today, Padres president Tom Garfinkel presented an official Padres jersey to the family of Jim Mulvaney in recognition of Jim's vital contributions to baseball in San Diego and the Padres organization in particular. Jim not feeling well at all. He's fighting Hodgkin's lymphoma, could not be here, but the Padres want to honor a man that all the way back to the PCL Padres in 1955 has devoted so much of his considerable energy to this great game.
In fact, that gentleman we saw walking off field with his son, Jim Jr., Jim Mulvaney. Good man.
Two and two on Snyder. One out here in the fifth. High in the air again. Ludwig has a beat on it. 14 in a row. 3 straight outs by the right fielder Ludwig, who has 4 in the game. Of course, that's not Garland's style, throwing fly ball outs. Well, but he'll take them.
Absolutely. And that tells me if they're popping the ball up against Garland, that means his changeup is being thrown in a great spot. It's down, they're lunging, and they're working underneath the baseball, hence the fly balls. He'll get his grounders on the hard stuff like the slider and the sinker.
Soriano, his only bid in this game was a fly ball to Ludwig and right. Blake DeWitt led off the first inning for the Cubs with a line single to left, and that's been it. A string of 14 out since. 3-0 inside, says umpire Holbrook. Garland has not walked a man, struck out 5. Coy Hill on deck, the catcher. Slider on the outside corner. Well, the Padres, after this game, will hop on a charter flight to San Francisco. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday day games. Hole 4 to Soriano. First free ticket from Garland today. The Cubs then will get on their charter and head on to Houston. They start today 3 games behind Milwaukee and Houston. Tied for 3rd in the National League Central.
Hey, there's share money now. Just because you don't make the playoffs doesn't mean there's some other incentive. There is share money. First place, second place, and I believe even third place.
Win, place, and show.
That's right. That playoff money, World Series money, gets distributed.
Change up, and out in front was Hill. He struck out. Back in the 3rd.
Well, that change up, the last 2 or 3 starts for John Garland has been really a good pitch for the right-hander.
The battery today of Garland and Torrealba and Jed Hoyer, the new general manager, 2 acquisitions that have been key to the success of the surprising San Diego Padres this year. Many had them ranked 29th out of 30 at the start of the season, with the Pirates the 30th team, and almost you have to hunt hard to find anyone who picked the Padres not to finish last in the National League West. And there's Jed Hoyer, who's done a terrific job his first year. Dave Roberts, Doc, there on the right side, great base stealer, great member of the organization. He had plenty of influence in spring training and generating the running game of the Padres that they unveiled this year. Ground ball up the middle. Tejada can't get it. So Hill has the second Cubs hit, and with 2 outs, they have a threat here in the 5th inning as the pitcher Gorzolani a chance to help himself. Only the second hit by Chicago. Well, we've seen it time and time again. A pitcher that gets in that string of out after out after out and in the rhythm of working from the windup. Then he walks a man. Soriano has to pitch from the stretch, and it just changes mechanics enough that the door swings open.
Absolutely. There's a comfort zone. I mean, imagine going from the windup for a long, long time. You've got that feeling down. You've got that release point down. Then all of a sudden, you have to shorten it up and quicken it up. And it's a different delivery.
Gorzolani took strike 3, his only at bat. He has 5 hits and 38 at bats this year. Just trying to make contact there on a slider. Just to finish the thought, and Mike Quade put it in perspective, talking with him in this series, saying that, you know, Bud Black, what a job he's done, and the organization as well. This is the most overachieving team by far in the National League. Well, that comes back to the great managerial skills of Black and his faculty, the coaching staff, and putting the right pieces together. Randy Reddy, the hitting coach. Hit to left field, hit pretty well too, but right there is Cunningham. And Gorzolani flirted with an RBI single. That's it for the Cubs in the 5th. We've reached the halfway mark in this one. No score. Well, it's time for True Baseball Stories, brought to you by Farmers Insurance. To find a Farmers agent, call 800-FARMERS or visit farmers.com. Because ready does feel good. This date, 18 years ago, George Brett collected hit number 3,000. And then moments later was picked off first base. But the Royals won 4-0 over the Angels anyway. Some other baseball happenings on this September 30th. Along with Gene Autry being born, the owner of the Angels. Babe Ruth hit number 60 on this day. Yeah, I know your trivia. Washington Senators was the team. And the pitcher became famous because every time you talked about Ruth's.
Tracy Stallings?
That was Roger Maris.
Oh, Roger Maris. So the question is,
who was the pitcher? Who threw Ruth the ball that he hit for his 60th home run, which in those years, 60 home runs. I mean, teams didn't hit 60 home runs.
Gosh, Washington Senators, huh?
Washington Senators. Padres and Cubs locked in a scoreless duel here on this damp day in San Diego. You don't get to say that very often. In fact, the only other rain we saw all year here was opening day.
You know, Dick, I have to admit, Mr. Enberg, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer. Do I get an F today?
You can peek at my paper.
I don't like to cheat. Tom Zachary.
Tom Zachary threw the famous pitch to Ruth. 2-1 to Cunningham. Then it'll be Headley and Garland in the Padre fifth inning. Roberto Clemente on this date, his 3,000th base hit. And sadly, his last hit that winter on a Mercy mission, his airplane crashed. Cunningham pops it up. That could be a tough play. Angling over is DeWitt, and he collects it for the first out. So Tom Gorzolani, despite that 7-9 record and a 4.28 ERA and a 6.30 ERA and 2 losses here at Petco Park, is cruising along. 3-hitter, single by Eckstein in the first inning, a couple of singles by Torrealba and Headley in the second, and nothing since. 8 in a row retired.
I'd like to get some points for John Garland because he's pitching his little heart out as well. Only giving up 2 hits to the Cubs this afternoon. As John waits on deck.
Ground ball to third. Easy play for Ramirez. 2 away. The way this game is moving along into the business end of the contest, 1 run might play mighty big. Of course, we've had 2 shutouts already in this series. The Cubs winning 1-0 on Monday night behind Carlos Zambrano. They went 7 innings and allowed only 3 hits. And then last night, Chris Young and company, the 3-0 shutout for the Padres. Garland fly to right is only at bat. Chris Young, you all know his story. Injured shoulder after his very first game in Arizona, second game of the season that he won. Sidelined for the entire season until September, rehabbing that shoulder. 1-2.
Oh, what a great job Chris did last night.
Now he's pitched 3 since coming off the DL, and the Padres now on the year, 4 times he's pitched, they're 4-0. A big game last night. Garland working the count to 2-2. Full count. Well, the Giants winning today 4-1. Arizona against the Giants, and the Marlins against Atlanta, giving the Padres no help at all. You got to do it yourself. But the Cubs playing the Padres really tough. Foul back. Garland saying, "Hey, you guys not getting me any runs. I got to try to get something going myself."
Trying to take that fastball from Gorzolani to right center field. Get on base, 2 outs, turn that lineup over, anything can happen.
Full count. Inside, ball 4. That's just the second walk from Gorzolani, and the other was intentional. Gonzalez back in the first inning.
That ball looked like it was inside, off the plate a little bit. Good call by Sam Holbrook.
Will Venable steps up. He has struck out and tried to bunt his way on. Good play made by DeWitt as manager Quaddy comes to the mound.
You know, I know every manager has his own style. And we all know that Lou Piniella is a guy that can be very intimidating. I mean, the guy was a great player. managed in New York, world championship in Cincinnati, goes on to the Cubs. And I think that kind of rubs off on younger players. Mike Quade is a down-to-earth type guy. And I'm not taking anything from Sweet Lou because his record speaks for himself. But Mike Quade, it's a whole different dynamic and a different feeling in that clubhouse and on the bench for the Cubs.
His demeanor is much like Buddy Black.
Exactly.
He approaches his job as a teacher, not the fiery sort that Lou Piniella brought to the office.
Right.
Venable chases a high fastball. Of course, Venable, because he's been in this torrid hitting streak the last 17 games in the lineup against the left-hander, much of the season he was platooned. Much more successful against right-handed pitching. Chopped right off the shins. Man already with a bad back. See where it got him.
Ooh, the right knee, inside the right knee. Watch the front leg.
Man, right on the knee.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. I mean, that's over 90 miles an hour, a baseball right on bone.
The equivalent of just taking the bat and going there, bang, hit you right on the knee with it.
Exactly.
And one of the very promising developments of the late season for the Padres, even though they relinquished first place having led by 6.5 games late in August, is the maturing of Venable as a player. And as we mentioned, he's a late bloomer in that basketball was his game. And so the Padres feel in baseball years they have a young outfielder here. He's their best athlete. He can play defense, he can run, he'll steal you a base, and he's got some power. Two outs. Pitcher Garland at first.
Now, as a pitcher, when a guy fouls the ball off his knee like that, I'd want to just throw that fastball inside again. Maybe a hitter's a little reluctant to offer it that pitch.
Swung on and missed. Breaking ball away, and down goes Venable for the second time. And Gorzolani continues to pitch outstanding ball. No score after 5. That's more of a San Diego sky developing. There's always something happening at Petco. This fall, you can enjoy the Western Metal Concert Series presented by Ashford University. Friday, November 5, Jewel will headline Under the Stars. Special guest Colby Calais. Tickets on sale now at Padres.com/concerts.
4 Look at 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 4 Lo
downtown high rise. The action on a limited Thursday. The big score for Padre fans and National League West. Giants win 4-1. Buster Posey, a 2-run homer. That brilliant catcher. What a difference he's made since they called him up after a couple of months.
What an athlete he is.
Where do you find one like that?
Especially at the catcher's position. He's got some pop in his bat and carries the staff like he has in the short time he's been in the big leagues. He's a special player.
DeWitt has singled and lined out. And hits this one hard, and it's a fair ball. Gonzalez couldn't get to it. And Blake DeWitt's on his way to second base with a stand-up double. And he's hit the ball hard all 3 times. Line single to left, line out to center, and now a sharp double into the corner and right.
Well, up to that batter, John Garland only facing 4 over the minimum up to this point, but that looks like a little cutter that just creeps over the inside part and out of the reach of Adrian at first base.
And there's where that injured right shoulder has bothered him.
Sure.
He fell on it very early in the season, and he's been hampered by it all year long.
That's a good point. Right shoulder, that's his glove side, correct? You dive for that ball, and that, I mean, who knows what could happen. A grenade could go off inside that shoulder.
Well, that's exactly how he injured it initially, was diving for a ball like that. So a serious threat now for the Cubs as they get the leadoff man on and at second base with DeWitt, with Castro, Bird, and Ramirez coming up. 0 for 2 today for the young shortstop. A couple of ground outs. And they play for 1. Just out of the reach of Torrealba. You know, with looking ahead to the Giant series, and regardless of what happens here, the National League West won't be decided until the Padres and Giants hook up. That represents the #1 and #2 pitching staff in the National League. And just as Quaddy's playing for 1 run here, you had that itchy feeling that when the Giants and Padres played, that 1 run, both managers may play for 1 run early in the game. Castro unable to put a bunt in fair territory. And this game starting to get a little more tense for Padre fans. And down in that San Diego dugout. Imagine the fans up there in San Francisco are rooting for Castro and the Cubs to come up with a run here.
That's where John Garland can go for the strikeout, make him fish for 1.
Tries to get him to climb the ladder on a slider, high slider. They had a big moment last night in the 3-0 Padre win. Came in the very first inning when the Cubs had runners at second and third and no one out. And Chris Young was able to pitch out of it with a ground out and 2 strikeouts. Big lead taken by DeWitt. Yeah, that's a setup pitch. Let's see if he comes back with that slider away.
Well, a couple of things John can do here. That 2-seamer down and in. That would set up a nice little grounder to Chase Headley to keep that runner at second base. DeWitt, or a slider he'll try to pull to the left side to keep that runner at second base. Try to keep that ball in front of the runner on the left side.
Inside again. Torrealba calls time, goes out to talk to his pitcher.
Well, he had him 0-2. Now the count has worked to full. And with first base open, you might see John Garland throw a breaking ball here. And you see the breakdown of 75 pitches for John.
Movement out in the left center field bullpen for the Padres. No one throwing yet, but a couple of guys taking off the warm-ups, exercising the arm. 3-2 to Castro. Swung on and missed. Slider.
The front door slider.
Castro with a weak swing.
That looked like he was chopping a log out on the farm. Check out this hack from Castro. Chop that wood. And Garland gets the strikeout.
Well, he obviously was looking for something else. Little cricket shot there. Almost a leg before wicket. An old deadly LBW.
That's a huge job for John and the Padres.
Black guy Marlon Byrd from that foul ball that bounced off home plate and hit him about 4 games ago. He's 0 for 2 today, but he's had an excellent series. 3 hits in the 1-0 win on Monday night as Joe Thatcher, the lefty, and Ryan Webb, the right-hander, start to tune up. He walked twice, had 2 hits and was safe on an error on Tuesday night, all 5 times on base. And he was 1 for 4 last night. High drive, deep right center. The air and the big ballpark holds that one in the range of Venable, and tagging moving to third, DeWitt, 2 away. That ball's just not carrying at all.
It's not going at you. You've got to really hit it on the screws. Really hit it well.
And pull it.
Yep.
That right center to left center field area, you've got to be one of the real muscle men to hit it out. In that part of Petco, if you pull it down left field or in right field, it's reasonable.
You can see the wind blowing straight down right now.
Straight down, huh? Hate when that happens. Ramirez up twice, flight out twice. Cubs have a runner to third for the first time today. Good cut.
Torrealba got that off the might even be the right shoulder or the right bicep. Check out the right arm. Oh, right off the bicep. No padding there. Even though that's a glancing blow, that hurts.
Well, the catchers at this time of the year, they just look like, one of those clowns, where you throw the ball at them and they knock them in the water, but you miss the little gadget that drops in the water. You just hit the clown. They're just black and blue all over.
Oh, yeah.
Runs it up high. 1-1.
That's a good pitch. That's a good pitch, John. Even if you missed the ball, I think the intent was there. That's exactly where Jorvik wanted it. Straightens him up a little bit. Good two-seam movement from Garland this afternoon.
DeWitt at third, 2 out. A scoreless tie in the 6th inning. Ramirez robbed by Venable on that perhaps catch of the entire season by the Padres center fielder. Highlights for San Diego. That'll be right up there at the top of the list. He ran into left center field and on the run leaping high over the wall to bring it back.
Say that knee right now for Will Venable's got to be barking a little bit. A little throbbing going on in that right knee on that foul ball.
Dangerous pitch coming up for Garland. 3-1. Man at third, 2 out, top of the 6th.
3-1 slider. Fastball in.
Chopped to third, foul.
Two-seamer.
Yeah, for those of you who were unable to be with us last night, here is the play by Ramirez. Home run? No. Venable on the dead run, leaping high over the wall to make that incredible catch. Of course, you can't appreciate that's just the tail end of it. He had to run some 25 yards to get to the ball. It's a little better look at. Look how far he had to go into that deep reaches of the corner. And the basketball star at Princeton used his ability to drive to the basket and go up high and lay it in there, snaring that home run bid by Ramirez. And on the 5th.
Boy, that ball's moving like a wiffle ball today for John Garland. The two-seamer is working nicely. Trying to tie up Ramirez up and in. And you know what? This is the frustrating thing about for a pitcher standpoint. Trax had that if taken a strike, but there's no way the umpire's going to call that a strike. And that's why I think pitchers get cheated. If they call the strike zone the way it should be by the book, it'd be a totally different game.
What position did you play, Mark Grant?
I believe I told the slab. I was a pitcher.
Oh, that's
Does
right.
that shock you?
That's right.
Full count to Ramirez. Got him.
Now that's a pitcher's umpire.
7 strikeouts for John Garland.
And that one just might have nibbled the outside edge. By Irving Hughes. Life is a lease. Negotiate well. Well, John Garland, some fancy pitching to work out of a leadoff double by Blake DeWitt. Strikes out Castro and Ramirez. Looked like he got a call as Ramirez ends the inning. Here's Eckstein, leadoff man, bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for both sides. Both teams with 4 men left on base. It's been that even. Gorzolani, while his numbers are not that bright for the total season nor against the Padres, when he's right, he's very good. And he's had that kind of season. Been up and down. When he's off, he really gets cuffed around. But 10 of his 22 starts this year, the opponents took him for only 5 hits or less.
Yep.
And that's what's happening today. Down low, 3-1.
You're right. He's got to be just perfect because he's not overpowering. He has to hit his spots. And maybe this is one of those situations, 3rd time around for David Eckstein, in the heart of the order, that can do some damage against the lefty.
He'll usually take 3-1. He does. Ball 4. 3rd walk from Gorzolani. But that is a violation for a pitcher to walk the leadoff man. See if the Padres can take advantage. Tejada grounded out twice. Good play made by Castro at short, deep in the hole last time up. Tejada's still not at full speed with that groin injury. Suffered over the weekend on Sunday. With healthy legs, he might have beaten that ball out. Ball 1.
And let's see if Gorzolani tries to keep the ball away from Tejada. Now, think of yourself as Gorzolani. You want to miss inside? No, you don't want to have Tejada hit something down the left field line to jerk out of the ballpark. So fastballs maybe away, changeups away. But let's see if he gets a mistake and Tejada capitalizes on one.
2-0, and that gets the Cubs active down in the right field corner. A right and a left-hander start to throw. First activity of the day as Russell, the lefty, and Mateo, the right-hander, get ready. Larry Rothschild, pitching coach for the Cubs. 6 of the last 7 pitches from Gorzelani have been out of the strike zone. Little hit and run.
I say no. And the reason being because Gorzelani's all over the place. You know, make him come to the hitters. Right now the pressure is on him. Usually a good hit and run situation is a guy who's consistently throwing strikes because you know you're going to get something to hit.
77 pitches, so it's been a very economical outing for Gorzelani, but running into some wildness here. Bends that one in, 3-1. Didn't just lay it down the middle. He had some action on that fastball. Gonzalez itching for a chance to get up there with a man in scoring position where he's done damage all season long. Ball 4, missed outside. Well, Gorzelani pitching a terrific game through 5, and now Wild walks both Eckstein and Tejada to open the inning. Rothschild's going to go out and talk to him.
We're going to take a look at the sequence of pitches from Gorzelani to Miguel Tejada via the Carlos Jr. pitch track. Ball 1, trying to keep the ball away. I mentioned that earlier, an off-speed pitch. So giving him right field, nothing that he can really jerk out of the park. That's the only good pitch he had. But Miguel knows, you know what? This guy's up around 80 pitches. He hasn't been sharp this inning. I'm going to make him throw me strikes. And if he walks me, I'm going to hand the baton over to Adrian Gonzalez and possibly Ryan Ludwig to do some damage in this inning.
Well, as you've said all year, you could walk him intentionally. You do have a base open.
Correct.
Yeah. But it's third base in this situation, so he's going to get a chance to swing the bat.
Yeah, because look at, there's nobody out. Chance for a big-time inning here for San Diego.
Again, the leading hitter in the entire National League by a bunch with men in scoring position. Gonzalez's average, .416. Ball 1, over but low. Cubs infield looking for a ground ball. Gonzalez does not run well. They'd like to support their left-hander with a double play chance. Two and 0. Slider away.
Okay, now the strike zone for Adrian Gonzalez starts to shrink with every ball thrown from Gorzelani. Right now, it's about the size of maybe an apple crate. If it goes 3-0, then it's like the size of a CD. We got all the pressure's on Gorzelani.
2-0. 2 on, no one out. That's not a very good swing on a 2-0 pitch.
On a breaking ball as well.
Almost a check swing.
Bet you if that ball's taken, it's probably off the plate.
He's a patient hitter, but in this situation and the way things have gone in September, he is eager. He wants to get something he can drive. But he chops this one up the middle. That could be 2. There's 1. There's 2. Perfect for the Cubs. 6-3 on the double play. Couldn't have hit a fungo bat ground ball any better than that. It led Castro right to the bag. Now Eckstein over to third. So just as the Cubs had a man at third with 2 outs in the top half of the inning, now it's the Padres with that opportunity. And Ryan Ludwig, he's grounded out and struck out.
Gorzelani made Adrian hit his pitch. That at bat. The 2-0 slider, he fouled off. Not a good swing. And that pitch we just saw up the middle, it wasn't the Adrian Gonzalez swing that we would like to see in that count.
Ball one to Ryan Ludwig. Your beat Torrealba on deck. Padres trying to win today and stay within 2 of San Francisco. Out of play. Fastball. 1-2 to Ludwig. Events of September have certainly tested the belief of these Padre fans. 2-2.
See Gorslani's thought process. He feels he doesn't have to throw a strike. A pitch up that Ryan offered at. Now he's trying to make him pitch for something down and in. If you're a pitcher, good spot for a changeup here.
3-2. So despite his wildness in the inning, Gorslani unscathed. Eckstein at third. And the 3-2 pitch coming up. Popped him up. Shallow in center, and Bird has a beat on it. So much for the Padres in the 6th. They get some help from Gorslani. A couple of leadoff walks, cannot take advantage. $2.50 Western and cheese melt, a cup of freshly brewed Seattle's best coffee. Open at 7 a.m. Subway, eat fresh. And by Cox Digital Telephone. Ready for cheaper calls? We'll go to Cox.com. Well, both teams, the Cubs and Padres, with an opportunity in that last inning. The leadoff double by DeWitt. He's left at third. Ramirez called out on strikes. And the Padres, hope given to them on a couple of walks to Eckstein and Tejada. But Gonzalez wraps into a double play, and Ludwig flies to shallow center.
Hey,
Top of the 7th.
Sorry about that, Dick. Usually you get a good feeling when you get number 2 and 3 guy on base via walks. And it's kind of frustrating, obviously, for everybody when no action.
Well, this has been symptomatic of the Padres in the last month of the season, when they've relinquished the first place. The pitching and defense have been solid pitching, not quite as brilliant as it was most of the season, but it's been really, they've had to pitch without any run support.
Hey, John Garland is pitching his little heart out this afternoon.
Line drive center field, that'll fall for a base hit. And the leadoff man, Nady, is on. Coming up, the San Diego Hyundai dealers 7th inning stretch. Your dollars. Get more MPG and the assurance of America's best warranty. Go to San Diego Hyundai Dealers.com. Cubs with their 4th base hit, first for Nady today. Here's Brad Snyder, struck out and flied out. See if Quaddy plays for 1 run here. He did earlier. Nope, he's swinging and takes a strike.
Well, John's done well today with the pitch count.
Very well.
That first inning was magnificent. 11 pitches in the first inning for John. It set the tone.
And he's picking on the outside corner.
Oh, yeah, the corner of 8th and K. Get a little help from home plate umpire Sam Holbrook on that last call. But you know what, though? To pitch games like this, sometimes you get a call like that. It takes you deeper into the ball game.
As you were saying, the pitchers get all the breaks. 0-2 the count.
Need to put him away right here. See if he chases. A 2-seamer inside.
Slap foul.
Pitchers always get the short end of the stick because we all know that they're the best athletes on the field.
I read that once. Your name wasn't in that chapter.
No, it's not.
Scoreless in the 7th. Leadoff hit by Nady. And the count on Snyder, 2 strikes. Then he fouls off another. Padres, as they conclude their home schedule here in 2010, 45 and 35 their record coming in. They're 43 and 35 on the road. Outstanding they've been all season away from home. Just got a piece of it.
That ball hit the ground, the umpire saying tipped, off the ground, and then picked. And Buddy Black is going to have a chat with the home plate umpire, Sam Holbrook.
Such quick hands by Torrealba. Watch how quickly that ball's in his glove. Ooh.
Oh, did that ball hit the ground? Tough to tell, huh?
Yeah. From that angle, looked as if he might have gloved it before it did hit the ground. But Snyder's still alive. Torrealba didn't argue. Serious business. 3 games after this against the first place Giants. No score. Runner at first. No one out here in the Cubs 7th. Ground ball foul.
Well, a double play right here would be some kind of nice. John Garland, 25 double plays induced this year. Ties with Clayton Richard, his teammate, and others for 2nd in the National League. 4th in Major League Baseball overall.
Clayton Richard will get the start tomorrow night in San Francisco. Bruce Bochy has moved Matt Cain up, and he'll be the opposing pitcher, and then Zito will work Saturday. It's going to be the other way. Bochy changed his mind. Got him swinging, tied him up with a fastball. Quite a strikeout game for Garland. That's number 8. Never known as a strikeout pitcher, and now his best ever season striking out opposing hitters, and that one up out of the strike zone.
It was up, but it's exactly where he wanted it, on the plate on the inside corner, and Snyder offers after it. And looks like Buddy at pitch 95. Give him a little pep talk. Way to go, veteran right-hander. And he's going to depart. That's a good day in the big leagues right there for John Garland.
Gets a hand from the fans standing along that right field side behind the Padre dugout. Can't ask for more than that. Garland again pitching well enough to give the Padres a chance to win. And our pitching change brought to you by Discount Tires. Stop by for a free tire inspection and air gauge. Remember, if you aren't happy with one of their tires, feel free to bring it back. Luke Gregerson coming in to pitch, and the change is brought to you by Lolita's at the Park, where you can enjoy a wonderful evening happy hour 7 days a week. Luke Gregerson, he worked last night a perfect 7th inning, striking out the side. Soriano, DeWitt, and Hill, and they'll face Soriano here with 1 out and a man on today. Great job by Garland, 6 1/3. He's responsible for the runner at first base, Nady, but gave up only 4 hits, just 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts for Garland.
Hey, what a great effort by Jonte. 95 pitch effort by the right-hander. And you know what? In this type of weather, heavy air, it's humid down there. 95 might feel like 125.
But look at how he's walking in the dugout. He did not want to come out of the game. And he's the kind of guy, you give me the ball, let me finish my work. And you like that.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody wants to come out of a big league ball game. But you know what, though? When you've got an arm like Gregerson, it's the 3rd time around now for Soriano. Give Soriano a different look. But we all know what Luke Gregerson can do when he's on.
In there. There's the slider. Boy, that was up in the zone, though.
Yeah, you're right. Got to get that down.
They have high regard for Soriano, the pitching staff for the Padres. A couple of home runs in this series and just missed another, robbed by Venable. Free swinging Alfonso Soriano. Outside the call, 1-1. Attendance today, 28,576 on a rainy Thursday afternoon. Season attendance, 2,131,000. About 140,000 more than a season ago. High pop foul back home plate.
I think that's the closest one we're going to get, Professor.
Not one all season long, and with a good bounce, that would have come into the booth. It was the right direction. Now Gregerson ahead on the count. There's our Cox Broadcasting Channel 4 San Diego studios.
Keep that slider down and away here.
Got him. Foul tip into the glove of Torey Alba. First strikeout. That's 4 in a row now for Gregerson out of the pen. 3 in a row last night.
Well, this game is about adjustments. Luke Gregerson makes an adjustment that at bat. Remember the first hanging breaking ball? And Soriano, look at the front side. Whoop. Opens up, loses all the power. Well, once that front side is exposed, forget about it, especially if that slider is down and away like Gregerson placed it.
Gregerson coming over to the Padres a couple of years ago in a trade that sent a very popular Khalil Green to the Cardinals. I hope Khalil, battling emotional problems himself and not in baseball, and able to make a return. Certainly was well loved here in San Diego, but Gregerson has been a terrific surprise. Scouting department at that time under general manager Kevin Towers doing a great job of spotting Gregerson and including him in the deal. And he's been outstanding. He's much better pitching than his record would reflect. You look at wins and losses, and that's totally deceiving for Gregerson. 4-7 doesn't come close to labeling his value to this team. 2-0 to Hill with the pitcher spot on deck. And Bobby Scales has a bat. Left-handed hitter for Chicago. Scales' call-up is 2 for 9 here in September. That's Gregerson's money pitch, the slider.
And you know, Dick, a couple of them, a few of them have been up in the zone. He's got to be careful with that.
Not only up in the zone, but in the heart of the plate. And that sinker missing away. 3-1. Nady at first, 2 outs here in the 7th. No score. Ground ball foul. With the count full, Nady off with a pitch. Fans trying to urge another strike out of the right arm of Gregerson. Hill was one of the 3 he struck out last night in order. Backs out of the batter's box. Nady goes. Ball 4. And that moves the runner into scoring position with 2 outs. Brings up the pinch hitter. The Padres undoubtedly with a book on all these players, but just to be certain, Darren Balsley's going to go out and talk with Gregerson and go over what they know about Scales, who's been up only 9 times in the big leagues with a couple of hits.
Bobby Scales was once Padre property, selected by the Padres back in 1999. Played in Idaho Falls, Fort Wayne, Lake Elsinore, Mobile, all the way up to Portland until 2005.
Played some college ball in Ann Arbor with the Michigan Wolverines.
Go Blue. I'm sure Ted Simmons is a big Bobby Scales fan.
And Clayton Richard.
That's right.
Will pitch tomorrow night. Former Michigan quarterback. Came up for a cup of coffee. Had 124 at bats last year. Hit 242. Occasional power. 2 on, 2 out. Good slider. Now, some fans, the Padres have an outstanding left-handed pitcher to work the left-handed hitter, saying, well, why aren't you bringing in Joe Thatcher? Well, the reason there is that immediately then Mike Quade will lift Scales and bring up a right-handed hitter. And when you check the lineup and available players for the Cubs, there's some more serious hitters down there from the right side. Not that Scales can't do it himself. 1-1.
Yeah, you like this matchup. Gregerson against Scales, no doubt about it. Luke Gregerson's been your guy all season long. Righties and lefties alike. You know, Luke Gregerson's going to pitch in what, 75 games a year? And when you look at this game's 77 for Luke. So 68 of them he's going to deal, 69 of them, and the other he's going to falter a little bit, maybe, like every reliever. This is the guy you want in this situation.
Not only leads the majors in holds, he set a major league record in holds. That's in there. It's a statistic that I'm not particularly excited about, because you can come in and give up some runs and you still get a hold. It's a lot softer category than being a pitcher with a save. Nevertheless, it reflects on how important he's been in setting up a save for Heath Bell, the 9th inning closer for the Padres. John Garland looks on. 1-2 to Scales. Runners lead, first and second. Got him. How about Luke Gregerson? 5 outs. When you add last night to this afternoon, 5 outs, all strikeouts, and he gets Scales to leave 2 men on base for the Cubs in the 7th. How about our fan of the game, brought to you by Fan Diego, your energy savings expert. For locations, visit fandiego.com. And if you're looking for ceiling fans, go to Fan Diego. 28,576 in the season finale. Under some weather conditions that are quite extraordinary for September here in San Diego, to have some rain, thunder showers. Andrew Kashner comes out of the bullpen to work the 7th inning for Mike Quaddy. He pitched on Tuesday night, part of the 5-2 Cubs win, working a perfect 8th inning. Chicago's top pick. He was the #1 pick, 19th overall, a couple of years ago, out of TCU, Texas Christian, and in 2 years he's made it to the big club.
And this fighting frog can really throw it up there. 98 miles an hour, that fastball, a slider, and a change.
Threw 100, remember?
Yeah,
Tuesday
that's
night?
right. That's right.
Hit the century mark. They burned out the radar in this homestand.
Had to recalibrate that thing, huh? With Aroldis Chapman.
105 for Chapman.
Usually that's a radio frequency.
Saturday.
On your FM dial.
That's AM and FM.
Yeah.
The way he was thrown. All right, no score, 7th inning. Torey Alba to start it for the Padres. He is singled and grounded out. Only 3 hits off starter Gorzolani. 6 solid innings. 98 on his first fastball. Under Mike Quaddy, the Cubs bullpen has really turned it around. Same pitch, same spot, a little faster, 99.
That is easy gas from Cashmere.
His 52nd game of the season. 52 innings. He's allowed 54 hits. Eight home runs. You can get out in front of that fastball with the heavy end of the bat, do some damage.
That's a 90-mile-an-hour slider there, folks. Some guys wish they threw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
You can see why they picked him in the first round. That kind of power pitching. 2-2 to Torey Alba. All the way to the screen at 99. And he'll do that. He has walked 30 men in 52 innings. And he struck out 47. You would think his strikeout total would be higher.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. We just saw what Andrew Kashner is all about. First 2 pitches right on the outside corner, knee high. Paint, right? And then, next thing you know, he goes nuclear loose on you and throws one right back to the screen.
Torey Alba working the count full. And then 98 thrown right through the swing. 1 away. Aaron Cunningham comes up. Up twice, popped to second twice. Kashner just had his 24th birthday earlier this month. Foul back. 99 again. Well, the scouts liked Kashner right out of high school, but he was drafted a couple of times, wouldn't sign, wanted to go to college, pitching with the Horned Frogs at TCU.
Probably one of the better nicknames in all of college sports. The Horned Frogs. Love that. Not as good as the Chippewas, though.
No, not even close. Out of play.
Central Michigan.
Well, going back to the Horned Frogs, they had a chance to call themselves the Frog Horns. But, you know, the Longhorns down there in Austin, and they kind of backed away from that.
Hook 'em Frogs.
1-2. High octane gas from Cashner.
Yeah, that's about $3.25 a gallon, isn't it, at 98? Boy, if he can harness that control and develop that off-speed pitch and throw that changeup, that's a nasty combo.
Does go off speed with a slider in the count just as it ran out 3-2 on Torrealba. Full now on Cunningham with Headley waiting his turn. He just blew that right through Cunningham's swing. 2 strikeouts for Cashner. That might have been ball 4, but you don't have a lot of time to think about it.
No, fastball, once again, missed the location, up and in, and that just looks too good out of the hand.
Chase Headley turns it around, hits left-handed. Batting right-handed against Gorzolani, a single to right and a ground ball to third. Late on that fastball, Souvenir. Chris Denorfia with a bat on deck would hit for the pitcher Gregerson. Ooh. Illegal when you hit
when did
he
break out the curveball? We know that he throws the fastball, the slider, and the change.
Threw that in a good spot too, right in under the hands of Headley, who has 11 home runs this year. 9 of those left-handed.
We've got some former big leaguers watching us on Channel 4, Dick, all around the country. David Cohn, David Wells, former left-hander Bruce Hurst taken in a big league ball game. Welcome, boys.
They wore the Padre colors. Ground ball, foul. Well, it's good that MLB Network has joined us today. Pleased to be visiting with you around the country. It's been a magical season for the San Diego Padres, as you might well imagine. No expectation. They were the 99-1 long shot. Maintained a hold on first place almost the entire year. Disbelief by most experts. High fly ball left field. Soriano easing his way toward the line. And Cashner with a 1-2-3 7th inning, and we cruise on to the 8th. Cubs nothing, Padres nothing. Now that is more like San Diego. Stay connected with your Padres at Padres.com. Purchase 2011 season tickets. Get the latest news on your Padres. Shop for exclusive San Diego Padres merchandise. And you can also sign up for the Friar Wire, the Padres official email newsletter. Visit Padres.com today. Still some drops of rain occasionally as small cell moves through. Game delayed if you're just joining us, almost a half hour by rains of the early afternoon. That shocked everyone. You get a drop of rain here, and the lead story in the news is the weatherman.
Oh my goodness. How many fender benders were there out on the freeway this morning?
I saw one upside down just coming in from La Jolla. Hopefully no one injured in that. Well, it's been a tough one for both sides here. Scratching away, but no runs as Mike Adams comes in to work for the Padres. DeWitt, Castro, and Bird in the Cubs 8. DeWitt, the only man of the game with a couple of hits and a line drive out. Singled to open the game in the first inning and grounded a double into the right field corner in the 6th. Half of the Cubs' total of 4. Padres, meanwhile, only 3 singles and nothing since the second inning. Adams worked a 1-2-3 8th inning last night. Mike also pitched on Tuesday night. Gave up a home run to Soriano.
You know, we are so fortunate to have guys like Luke Gregerson, Mike Adams out of that bullpen late in a ball game. You look at Mike Adams' numbers, even the short time he was up in 08 and the year he put together in 09. A .73 ERA last year. Only 37 innings, but hey, 37 innings at the big league level, only giving up 14 hits. How you doing? That's a good year. And he's having a great year in 2010.
Did not go around, says third base umpire Marquez. So 3-1 to DeWitt.
Well, let's take a look from the side. Does DeWitt go? Absolutely he goes. And he's not even there. If he hits that, it's a double.
He'll get a pitch to hit here. Doesn't go. 3-2. Well, Adams, throughout his career, professional career, has struggled with injuries and finally getting himself healthy. And he has been Mr. 8th inning all season long. GAB, Gregerson to Adams to Bell. Gab, talk of the league. Pops him up. But that's going to sail behind the dugout of the Padres, about 4 rows. So after the game today, one of the promotions, the fans have bought $1 tickets, and there's a little scratch off, and if you had the right color or whatever they have underneath there to qualify, then about 45 fans will get a jersey right off the back of the player or manager coach after the game. They'll draw the numbers out of the hat. 3-2. Ground ball sharply at Gonzalez. The Gold Glover at first takes care of business. 1 away. Well, DeWitt has hit the ball hard all 4 times today. A couple of hits and line drive to center and a hard ground ball to first. Adams was also an outstanding high school basketball player and played some college ball at Texas San Antonio. Padres, if there was a off-season basketball league that each team had a representative, the Padres do pretty well. They've got some basketball talent. How about 2 Ivy League MVPs and Chris Young and Will Venable?
Yeah, they'd be in the running every year.
And this guy played at San Antonio.
David Eckstein can bring up the ball, point guard.
Adam Russell, big 6'8", 270-pounder. He said, I can go in there and give a couple of pork chops. I'll block out for you. Tony Gwynn, good shooter.
Matt Stairs can be the mascot.
Swung on and missed. You're terrible.
Come on, he'd be the perfect guy, keeping everybody loose.
Yeah, on skates. Yeah, he'd come out on skates, roller skates. Castro has grounded out twice and struck out today. Adams jumps ahead, 0-2.
Good slider. Just missed.
Right where he wanted it.
Tough pitch to lay off as well. 87-mile-an-hour slider. That's where he wanted it. Torrealba's glove is right there.
Strike 3. Fastball at the knees. Well, Castro, after seeing that slider bend outside, and Adams likes to start it at the knees and drop it low. Instead, he comes with a straight shot fastball.
Perfectly placed. And Castro, frozen pizza.
Two away here in the 8th inning. That's 11 strikeouts by Padre pitching today. Garland with 8, Luke Gregerson with 2 in the last inning, and Adams now with his first. Here's Marlon Byrd. He fouls it away. Byrd has struck out, robbed of a hit by Headley at third on the defensive gem of this game and one of the best of the season by the third baseman, and then a fly ball to center.
And you never know what's going to happen after that. There was one out at that point of the game when Headley made that play. That's definitely extra bases. That could have been resulting in a run.
Fly ball. Right fielder Ludwig gets another chance. 1-2-3 inning for Mike Adams. Somebody's got to score. Bottom of the 8th will be the 9th spot to start for the Padres. On Casino postgame show, Jenny Kavner and Bob Scanlon standing by. Following the game right here on Channel 4, San Diego, Sequan Casino. San Diego's vacation getaway. Now, when we saw the Cubs back in mid-August, they were playing miserably. In fact, when the Padres finished a 4-game sweep, the Cubs were 50-72, and the bullpen was being rocked. They've done something right. They are terrific here in September. Denorfia off the bench, and he's robbed in right field on a catch by Snyder. Denorfia hits it on the button, but Snyder able to come in and make the play. Hit it too hard.
And on a play like that, you really have to hold your breath because Denorfia squares it up, goes the other way nicely, and then the dive, if that gets by him or caroms off his glove, definitely extra bases.
And with that, Cashner comes out, and a pitching change made as Will Venable, the batter, and the left-hander in from the pen. And this pitching change brought to you by San Diego Harley-Davidson. Always country first. The rookie left-hander is the new Cubs pitcher, and his profile brought to you by RCP Block and Brick. You can create your dream yard today by visiting rcpblock.com. 79 appearances by Marshall. He knows his way out of the pen.
Yeah, he's usually the setup guy, long relief guy for Carlos Marmol.
Brought in to face the left-handed hitting Venable, who is 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts, and tried to bunt his way on against the starting southpaw, Tom Gorzolani. Base is empty, 1 out here in the 8th, no score. Marmol, who has pitched the last couple of games, is not throwing in the bullpen. 8th inning belongs to Marshall. Cubs vastly improved bullpen effort. They've gone 19 2/3 consecutive innings without allowing a run. And the Cubs pitching just in general on the road, we're talking about a 90-year span since Cubs pitchers have done so well in a stretch of games inside. Coming into this game, they've gone 12 in a row away from Wrigley, allowing 3 runs or less.
That'll win you some
got to
ball
go back
games.
to 1920 to find a Cubs staff to do that. Oh my, that breaking ball looked like it might have gone around the plate, but late umpire Holbrook punches out Venable.
Well, lefty on lefty. Marshall versus Venable in the Carl's Jr. pitch track. First pitch, breaking ball off the plate just a tad. He misses with location a few times, trying to concentrate, keep the ball away, straightens him up a little bit. And it's not that last one. It's not where he wanted it. He wanted it down and away, but it fooled Will, and it looked like it got the inside corner for a strike.
Good call by Holbrook. That was the only strike he threw him in the 5-pitch sequence. So 2 out to David Eckstein. He singled in the first inning, fly to right, and walked. The Padres got only 4 hits on Monday night. Zambrano and the Cubs winning 1-0. They had 4 hits on Tuesday night in a 5-2 loss. The only runs provided on Nick Hundley's 2-run homer. They won last night 3-0, but only 6 hits. And just 3 today. Chopped off home plate, right to Nady. Easy inning, and the Cubs bullpen continues to perform. We go to the 9th here at Petco. No score. So Heath Bell comes into work the 9th inning. Normally comes in with the Padres in the lead, but in the 9th inning in a scoreless tie. There's his incredible numbers on the year: 6-0, 45 saves. Picked up his 45th last night on his 33rd birthday. Hard throwing right-hander, a gift from the New York Mets. Found his way here to San Diego, backed up Trevor Hoffman, learned how to be a closer, and when Hoffman left to go to Milwaukee last year, he took over, led the National League in saves. He's right up there again this year behind Brian Wilson of the Giants. I think he's one behind Wilson. Wilson did not pitch today in the 4-1 win for the Giants.
So with a scoreless tie in the 9th, the save is out the window. Heath Bell shut him down here. And hopefully it would be a walk-off in the bottom half of the 9th.
Bat silent on both sides. 4 hits for the Cubs, 3 for the Padres as we enter the top of the 9th. Ramirez takes a curveball for a strike. Ramirez, Nady, and Snyder for the Cubs. Bell boldly in spring training, when everyone felt that Padres had no chance in the National League West, said they're going to be in the World Series. He said, I feel good about this team. They closed well the last couple of months of last year. Buddy Black seemed to get his kind of player and build around pitching and aggressive base running. And as the season wore on, Bell seemed to be a pretty good prognosticator that this team much better than people had given them credit. 2 strikes. Looper into right center field. is going to fall for a base hit. So Ramirez dumps one into right center, and the leadoff man is on. Brings up Xavier Nady. He had a single to center the last at bat. Struck out and flied out. Ramirez comes out, and Quaddy is going to use a pinch runner, Darwin Barney. Nady checking with his signs to see whether or not they want him to sacrifice here in the 9th inning. Runs in this series at a premium, and he squares, and it's a good bunt. Gonzalez will make the tag. Barney to second, and the Cubs will have a couple of shots at bringing in a run here in the 9th. It'll be up to Snyder and Soriano. Nady, not asked to sacrifice that often, places a perfect bunt.
That was perfectly executed.
It was his first of the entire season. Missed his calling. Brad Snyder struck out twice, flied out. Bell throughout the season, his range on that fastball 94, 95.
Not by much, huh? That looked like a pretty good pitch.
In fact, going back to Nady's bunt, first in 4 years.
Oh, I think that's a strike.
2-0 the count to Snyder. Goes to the breaking ball.
That's a nasty curveball right there. And that's not one of those lollipop curveballs. That's a power curveball from Heath Bell at 81. 95 fastball. Yeah, try adjusting to that.
Scoreless tie. Cubs with a runner at second. Strike on the outside corner. Fastball 2-2. Chop to the left side, and it's going to go through. And the Cubs have broken this scoreless tie with a run in the 9th inning. On a bloop single, sacrifice, and a little roller through the 5.5 hole on Seeing Eye single. And that's how the first run scores. Snyder's 5th RBI of the season and September.
Well, Snyder knows the power of Heath Bell with that fastball. He just chops down on that ball, down and away. And because of the high chopper, you saw Barney. He's going to third base. He's got decent speed. He will score easily. It looked like Tejada was playing a little bit over towards second base, opened up that hole on the left side.
Soriano steps in. He struck out to end the game against Bell last night. Cubs, who won the opener of this 4-game series 1-0, then 5-2, lost last night 3-0, and now 1-0 again. Well, the other teams with whom the Padres are fighting have seen little resistance. The Giants and Atlanta. The Cubs have come in here playing like they're trying to get in the playoffs. Soriano, a walk today, flied out and struck out. Looking ahead to the home half of the 9th inning, it'll be Tejada, Gonzalez, and Ludwig scheduled. It looks like The ace in the bullpen, Carlos Marmol, is getting ready. Saved the first 2 games of the series. That one smacked hard to right, but Ludwig into the corner and in front of the Petco porch makes the catch on the warning pad. Fifth, 6th put out by the right fielder today. Coy Hill, the catcher, a single and a walk in 2 at-bats. These kinds of games, it comes down to, neither team hitting well, and you just got to scratch one out, and that's what the Cubs have done. Good curveball.
Sometimes it's a matter of just putting the ball in play. As we saw this inning, Snyder, it wasn't the best hack. It was a darn good pitch down and away, but he just hit it the opposite way, beating the shift and the high chopper, scoring Barney.
That's after Ramirez just sent a little parachute single into right center.
And credit Xavier Nady. I mean, like you mentioned, that's the first time he sacrificed this year.
4 years. First in 4 years.
4 years. Wow. And he executed it perfectly.
Well, the pressure on the Padres now. 2 out. Hill runs the count to 1-1. One and 2. Come down to the last game of the home season. Bell 6-0 and 45 saves. Unless the Padres can come up with something in the 9th, he'll suffer his first loss. Hill goes down swinging, but the Cubs get a precious run on a couple of hits. Lead 1 to the last of the 9th we go. Well, here's the ace, the closer for the Cubs, Carlos Marmol, who has struck out more batters than any relief pitcher in the majors this year. Saved the games on Monday and Tuesday night to run his save total to 36. Marmol has struck out 134 batters. To put that in perspective, John Garland, a starter, struck out more hitters this year than any time in his career, and he, coming into this game, had 128. So as a relief pitcher, Marmol more than Garland. But he has runs of wildness.
Exactly.
Fold takes over in left field, and Barney stays in for Ramirez at third base. Tejada takes a strike. A bunt. If it stays fair, it's a hit. It doesn't. Just left the grass, and as soon as it did, it kicked foul. Veteran Tejada trying to get on. 1-0 Cubs in the last of the ninth. What a job the Chicago pitching staff has done in this series.
Yep.
"17 hits in 4 games. 4 games, 17 hits. That's all they've allowed. 1-2. His out pitch is that slider.
And he's a hard thrower. He'll get that fastball, upper 90s, 97, 98.
Ground ball to short. Easy chance for Castro. 1 away. On Monday night, he came in, Marmol, in the 9th inning, a 1-0 game. Struck out Ludwig. And pinch hitter Baxter gave up an infield hit to Torrealba, then hit Headley and walked Gwynn, so loaded the bases with 2 outs in the 9th, but induced Hundley to fly out to left field. Pitched again on Tuesday night, gave up a 2-out walk, and then saved the win 5-2. Gonzalez steps in and rips it foul. Adrian, an intentional walk, fly deep to center and grounded into a double play. Outfield deep, slightly to pull. Infield the same. 1-2. That's the slider. That one rolled foul. Marmol trying to finish the 69th game of the year. That's the most in the major leagues by a relief pitcher. Cubs have won 72. Marmol has saved 36, half of their total on the year. And 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pulled foul. Renteria still has those good hands.
Oh, yeah.
He hadn't bobbled one all year.
Well, the key for Adrian right here. Marmol is known for that slider and, of course, that fastball upper 90s. But if he throws him a slider in the zone, something that Adrian can jerk out of his ballpark to right field.
No, gets him swinging.
He kept it down, that one.
So the Padres down to their final out here in a 1-0 game. It's up to Ryan Ludwig. He struck out, flied out, and grounded out. Well, this effort by Chicago in the month of September really has to get some folks excited up there in the north side in a very disappointing year. They're suddenly playing like contenders and putting a hurt on San Diego's hopes. There still will be a flicker going to San Francisco tonight. But if the Padres lose, they need to win 4 in a row against San Francisco to get in the playoffs, because they'd have to win 3 to tie and then a playoff. And it makes it difficult in their bid to try to catch Atlanta for the wild card. They'd be 2 games back. 2-1.
Oh, that's a good slider.
Three and 1. Matt Stairs, the 42-year-old veteran, acquired by the Padres as a pinch hitter, and he set a major league record for most pinch home runs is on deck. 23 pinch hit home runs in his career. Down to the final strike.
A 3-1 slider. Oh, a walk can be your bloop, and stairs could be your blast. You're the base runner.
Got him swinging, strike 3. And with that miss, the Padres go down to a very painful loss as the Cubs celebrate a 1-0 win, beating Keith Bell, his first loss of the season, first loss since August of last year. And Carlos Marmol with 3 saves as the Cubs take the series 3 out of 4 and drop the Padres 3 full games behind San Francisco, with a final series coming up against the Giants. So on a rainy day this September, last September day in San Diego, a tough one to digest for the home team, and we'll be back with the final totals as the Cubs win it 1-0 right after this.